Today I fucked up by opening 10,000 porn tabs at school. A bit of context first. So yesterday I was working on an assignment, due tomorrow, and my friend steals my USB with all of my saved work on it, because it also has games on it that he wants. This would not normally be an issue, but then goes on to copy one game and delete all of its contents. I was extremely pissed and asked to see the recycle bin, which he refused to show me, then telling me later that day that he deleted it. BC, he's a dickhead like that. Fortunately I still had an auto-saved copy from a while back, but I still lost a lot of work. Fast forward to today, I'm thinking how I can get him back, when I have an idea. I got one of the old COD games from my friend and set it up so that when the game folder was opened, it ran a batch command that opened a porn website over and over. I knew he would try stealing it again and couldn't wait for him to be busted. Just when I was ready to lay the trap, I went to edit the file and instead of right-clicking, I opened it. My mouse cursor instantly slowed from the thousands of searches at once, so I shut down my laptop. Minutes later, when I had restarted my computer, I got a message pop up from the school IT department telling me to take my laptop up to the office. They called my parents and I got sent home, and now I'm facing suspension and have to have my laptop in teacher's view for the rest of the term. After today my phone is being confiscated until my parents believe I have learned my lesson. Guess it's karma and all, but I still wish this guy had opened it because his parents are very strong Christians and he would have copped it much worse than me. Too long didn't read. I tried to prank a classmate by getting him to open many porn tabs in class with a file command, but I opened it and got myself in a load of shit. Edit, turns out he didn't remove from his recycle bin, getting it back tomorrow and no hard feelings. Edit 2, my parents ended up not confiscating my phone, but I can't use my PC until end of term, so hooray I guess. Edit 3, for all the people asking, it was a shortcut that was made to look identical to a folder apart from a tiny arrow at the bottom so that it ran the command on click. Sorry for not clarifying. Edit 4, I apologize for not knowing how to spell batch lol. Wait, so did the school IT department ID you because you were on their network or because you were /are using their equipment? If you're gonna do this or anything else against school policy again, you should get off both. Otherwise, good plan and hilarious, yet tragic, outcome. At our school all searches pass through a central network, so they matched the IP address with my name. Your own creation has betrayed you. Seriously hope you didn't tell them you made the thing. That's hilarious. I am sorry for you, your trap was great. Reminds me of back when I was studying, each time I'd find an unlocked computer in the library I'd change their homepage to hotmail.com, which also prompted lots of pop-up sites. And when in the amphitheater and in the corner of the eye someone would slam down his screen, I knew my work was done. Good times. We still gotta get him back. Yes we do lol. A bark command. Allegro con porno in a minor. Today I fucked up by playing Cash's smash hit Die Young at a children's cancer charity event. To be upfront, this did not happen today, but rather exactly 1 year ago today. I was reminded by my friend's Snapchat memories of this absolutely awful experience 1 year ago. So I'm a junior in college now, I was a sophomore then, and I work for a club on campus that raises money for a charity that gives money to families of children with cancer to ease the financial burden of things like hospital bills and hotel rooms for treatment, etc. At the end of the year, we throw a 10-hour-long concert which usually involves a lot of student DJs doing quick sets to pass the time. Anyways, we needed someone to fill in for a half-hour set, so I thought, why not? And plugged my laptop in, ran some cheap DJ software, and played some pop music off a playlist. Well, as it turns out, all was not well. I was unknowingly playing Die Young by Kesha, which contains the lyrics, "Let's make the most of the night like we're gonna die young / we're gonna die young / we're gonna die young." Not long after, I got a text from my friend and the conversation went something like, "Do change the song / you're playing Die Young / and The kids are here / oh fuck. I look around and everyone is staring at me thinking this is some cruel joke because all of the patients we sponsor are at the event. I quickly changed to I got a feeling and all was well. Luckily, none of the kids were listening too closely and didn't get upset. Got a stern talking to by the club advisors, but they ended up letting me go because they couldn't prove that I played it on purpose. That night, we ended up raising $121,000, so too long didn't read. I played a preset playlist at a children's cancer fundraiser. Kesha's Die Young came on. Got a talking to. Edit, realized I probably shouldn't include the name of the charity in this post. Edit 2, hijacking my own post to try to turn these upvotes into some donations to the charity. If you're interested in giving, here is the link. Edit 3, decided to remove the charity again to not violate Rule 5. If you feel strongly about donating, PM me. This reminds me of the Today I Fucked Up where the guy played the uncensored Let's Get It Started by the Black Eyed Peas at a prom for kids with Downs. Fucking gold. From my experience, cancer patients have a pretty dark sense of humor. My younger brother, for example, would start up sing-alongs of Another One Bites the Dust by Queen when he was getting chemo for leukemia. R.I.P. you crazy bastard. Your nephew is living up to your middle name and birthday / You are not wrong. I came here to say the same. My son would request that the radiation techs play the Bee Gees' Stayin' Alive during his treatments. We would watch him through the TV monitor. His head and shoulders were strapped to the table, but he did the classic finger-pointing dance with perfect rhythm. Sorry for your loss, stranger, and thanks for invoking this memory. I'm laughing through the tears. I think your little brother and my son were probably cut from the same cloth. His nicknames around the house, the ones he chose for himself mind you, were Bald Eagle and Chemo Sabe. You kid. Shit man, I remember loving this song when it came out, but it was totally squashed a week later. BC there was an elementary school shooting, so that's always what this song reminds me of. I got pissed when the DJ made the same move and played We Are Never Getting Back Together by Taylor Swift at my wedding. I came here to tell the story about the time I was DJing a wedding and played We Are Never Getting Back Together without a second thought. I'm sorry. I walked past an army recruitment tent that was blasting the same song a couple of years back. Lol, love the edits. Probably shouldn't name the charity. Here's the name and website of the charity. Just so everyone can recognize it if it happens, here is the information I should not reveal. Today I fucked up by trying to wake up a dead teenager. Today I fucked up big time by trying to do my job. Well, not specifically today. This is an old story, but then again I'm an old man. About 30 some odd years ago, when I was in my early 20s, I worked for a newspaper as the assistant district manager. One part of my job that I was doing then was to go around and make sure that the paper boys, remember them, picked up their delivered bundles of newspapers for delivery. This was on a Sunday morning and I had to drive around to all the drop-off spots. And there it was. Bundle of newspapers still sitting out undelivered. I looked in my little booklet of paper boys and saw the name and address of the boy who was supposed to get them. No issue. He probably overslept and I just needed to wake him up. I went to the house and knocked on the door. A woman in her 40s answered the door. Me, hi. Is paper boy there? He hasn't picked up his newspapers and they need to go out. The woman then solemnly looked me in the eye. The 16-year-old boy who I was asking about had hung himself in his own closet the previous day and was gone. She was a neighbor who was staying with the family to help them. I felt about 1 inch tall. I don't remember what exactly I said to her, but I apologized for the interruption and waking everyone, gave my intense sympathy to her, and backed away with my tail between my legs. I then contacted my boss for a copy of the customer list and delivered those newspapers myself for the next few days. It was awful. I know that I had no way of knowing, but I defy anyone who has something like that happen not to feel like the cosmos should have presented us with divine knowledge to not get into this. I didn't stay in that position for too much longer. Too long didn't read, tried to wake up a paperboy only to find he died, tried to apologize my way out. I used to live with my grandmother and a man came up in about 2010 asking if my grandpa was home. I had to tell him he'd been dead since 2003. I wasn't offended by him asking, but I felt so bad when I saw his reaction. He seemed legitimately heartbroken and shocked. My grandpa has the same name as my uncle, his son, and my grandma kept the voicemail recording of my grandpa because she liked to listen to it. He was a handyman and he mentioned this in the voicemail, remember, before cell phones. He died in 2001. Around 2006 the voicemail disappears and she is heartbroken. She starts getting harassed by debt collectors in 2010. They are trying to collect on my uncle's debts and they got my grandfather's phone number somehow, and we have no idea how. They have a recorded call and you can hear the recorded voicemail, so they must have been hanging on to this call for forever. When my grandma answers the phone, they mention something about being a handyman. My grandmother asks how he knows this and he says it was from the voicemail he reviewed from a previous call before this call. My grandma hears this and the debt collector sends her the copy of the phone call. Snip snap. Nice little MP4 all trimmed and now it is on her phone to listen to whenever she wants. I'd cry, but your comment reminded me of this. Anyone else think he physically rolled over a dead body to try waking it up? I saw a friend of mine who had just gotten married. He introduced me to his wife and told me she was pregnant and they both seemed really excited. Fast forward a few months, I run into him again and ask him how married life and being a dad we're going, only to find out the baby was stillborn and they split up. Losing a child, sadly, often results in breakup. I've done the same. Went over to a lady's house to fix her PC and was confronted by her family. Turned out she had died right after calling me. Awkward AF. Once I had a client who booked a photo session with me for her soon-to-be newborn. When she called to let me know he had arrived, I missed the call, so I called back all cheery, ready to schedule the session date. But then she started crying and told me he passed away shortly after birth. I let her talk and cry as long as she wanted to. Broke my heart. I still think about her many years later.